Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.
Shalom, shalom.
Don't wake me up. Midstream in a dream, don't touch, I've been taken up. Being shown in a vision, curiosity got me stuck. Yeah, 7 hands, 10 horns on the waters, raising up, praising up. I see crowds, flaming floors.
Shalom, shalom.
At the door, I've been searching for it. I can't get it out of my head. I see the stars are falling down. This tempers upon
Shalom. Come on in, brothers and sisters.
chase goes on and on. I'm not giving it up. 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 I'm not giving it up.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
I'm at the point understanding dreams are the real time. Reason why they wake me up. I try moving on, but my body is stuck. My conscience is raised, an angel pick me up. Awaken from this matrix. Looking down on the globe, blood dripping from his robe. I know he can fix this. I see you burning Rome, and our people coming home. Can I please get a witness? Witness, I'm not coming down till I get this. These predictions can't be superstition. The decision being shown in the vision.
That's right, brothers and sisters. I'm Elder Ricard of the Gathering of Christ Church. I would like to say shalom to my brothers and sisters throughout the 4 corners of the earth. Shalom, shalom, shalom. And yes, we are about to dive into week 3 of our Hebrew and Bible Academy. Okay. And that will begin Sunday, 9 a.m. For a lot of you who don't know what the Academy is, if you're not in it, you are missing it. Okay. This way we go into the Bible from its original narrative, right? God's people, the children of God, okay? With its correct narrative without doing what? Muddying the waters like you see with mainstream religion, which will tell you out there that it doesn't matter. God see all people the same. There is no difference in religion and all this others, as if God doesn't have a chosen people. All right. So with archaeology and history, we're now proving mainstream religion's narratives wrong. We're just dealing with the Bible as it is written. OK. And hey, a lot is getting uncovered right now. A lot. So I advise you, brothers and sisters who aren't in this academy, go to historytimes.org. Hey, we went into the creation of the universe first week, proving this whole evolution theory that just came up in our modern times, a bold-faced lie. Okay, we also went into tracing the serpent seed. Satan has a seed in this earth to oppose God's people. Even those, the Romans right now has a prince or god over them that's known within Jewish literature as Samael. Samael is Satan. Okay. And yes, angels came down, were revered as gods, and created, that's right, an opposing race. That race exists till this day. Now, it might seem fiction, brothers and sisters, but guess what, folks? It's real. It's real. All right. And keep in mind, because Lucifer himself have no access to the spiritual realm, he must create everything artificial. And his artificial intelligence has what? Spirits to enter into bodies. That's right, because the Nephilim lost their bodies in the flood. Satan would use artificial intelligence to bring the old demons, the old gods who fell, back into existence. That's right, by using people as hosts. Welcome to the real world. AI isn't who and what you think. AI will be utilized to merge people, not just with machines, but a spirit must enter that host. And this is what they are preparing, folks. They're going to bring mankind to their knees, and AI will have a host. AI is them, the serpent seed. They just need bodies. Now, at one time, they could easily get access to bodies temporally. Why? Sin gives demons access to utilize bodies. But because of this, whom they deem nemesis, by the name of Christ, he came along to give us insight on how to overthrow these spirits so that they cannot use our bodies anymore. See? So Christ give us the knowledge of sin, and through sin, cast out spirits, so they can't use us. So Satan is like, well, okay, they figured it out. I had them eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. I had them worshiping holy days. I had them believing that the laws are done away with, and it gave my spirits that I control temporal hosts. But now they done figured it out. They know they're Israelites. They're following the law, and they also are getting into the knowledge on how to cast out spirits like the disciples. So we need permanent hosts. That's right. Let's introduce AI into the system where if we can control them like a machine against their will, that's right. We can actually put their spirit in the sunken place forever while the demons gain power over God's temple on earth, who are people. We're going to resist the mark of the beast. We're going to resist this technology because we know the spirits that come behind it, which leads us to what I spoke about last Sunday, in the academy. I spoke about the spirit of Lilith in the academy. You seldom hear any religion talking about Lilith. Lilith is also Kali in East India. Kali is the liberated goddess who thrives off of the blood of sacrificed men. That's right. Use the men for their power. Use them for their virilness. Use them for your carnal pleasure, only to discard them at the end. Once he have impregnated you with a new slave for the system. That's the spirit of Kali. Well, Lilith is who she's known as in Jewish folklore. And I went into Lilith this Sunday. All right, we have sound now. Can y'all hear me? You can hear me now? Okay, that's good. Okay. Good? We should be good right now. Okay, great. All right, real quick. You wouldn't believe what I just went through in the midst of identifying the evil spirit of Lilith. Okay? When we talk about Kali, Kali is an old ancient spirit, right? I showed you all this before from East India. Kali is the spirit. Let me move this here. Kali is the spirit, a spirit or goddess of East India, right? And let me tell you about this spirit Kali for a second, folks. The spirit Kali. Let me move it here. Let's see, Kali, right there. All right. I've showed her many times this East Indian spirit, this demoness, who thrives off of the energy, virilness, which is a man's, I would say, intimacy to gain new servants for Satan, to make children, only to, after she gets the money, children, and everything out of the man, to use him as a sacrifice to the God who empowered her, which is the original demon of liberation. And I talked about who in the academy. Who in particular did I speak about in the academy last Sunday, one might ask? Well, in the academy, brothers and sisters, in the academy, I went into the spirit of Lilith. Who is Lilith? Well, she's a spirit that's known within, I would say, Jewish literature. And I'll use that a little loosely there. Jewish literature, so they know about Lilith. There's a fable out there that claims that Lilith was Adam's first wife. Well, that's a lie. That's a lie. And I talked about this in the academy. That is a lie. Okay. Lilith, in essence, was one of the original fallen angels. Angels aren't just male. They're also female within angel ranks. Okay. That's right. They're worshipped as gods and goddesses. In other religions, such as Hinduism, and she's worshipped as Mary to some degree under modern day Christianity. But the Goth women worship this demoness, this fallen angel Lilith. And so they lied and claimed that was Adam's first wife, but that's not true. She's the spirit of liberation. She's the spirit that they would use to weaponize the earth, where they'll destroy civilizations from the bottom up by liberating the woman who was meant to be a helpmeet to man. And that's the spirit of Lilith. Lilith, we talked about this. That's why it's important, brothers and sisters, you get in this academy. Lilith, this is her quote. Nobody, not an angel, not even God himself, can stop Lucifer from ruling all creation. When Lucifer rules, and trust me, he will annihilate the human race, and the universe will belong to us, the fallen children of paradise. Lilith is an extremely powerful angel and the first angel after Lucifer. She is powerful enough to effortlessly defeat multiple rival angels. And she also serves as the leader of the army of angels under Lucifer's command. Along with Lucifer, Lilith led this army against the armies of heaven and commanded the rest of the forces of angels in the war of heaven against the heavenly host. That's your Revelation 12 narrative. Now, she had a fall from grace, and it tell you that the rebellion of the morning star, which is Lucifer, she was there during the rebellion. The rebellion of the gods or angels against God and Christ in heaven. Okay. Now, it also illustrates, let me get rid of this here. It illustrates her power. Okay. It illustrates her power. I went into it. Okay. Superstanima as an angel. Right? Now, in a nutshell, Lilith, let me show you here. Lilith. And I'm going to show you where I'm going. This caricature is worshipped within Goth religion. Witches honor this evil angel. She's the angel of sadistic, pornographic type of activity. She also receives her power by taking power from men. She reveled in the destruction of men. She's the goddess of what men would call intimacy dreams, or growing up, wet dreams and all these others they would say. It's the spirit of Lilith. Now, why am I going here? Before segueing over into the academy. I mean, not the academy, excuse me. I got academy on the brain. historytimes.org. Before segueing over to Patreon. Why am I going into this? Well, the Bible in of itself gave our people, the children of Israel, the knowledge on how to overcome Satan weaponizing families through the spirit of Lilith. In Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 26:9, it reads, the whoredom of a woman. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. Her haughty looks and eyelids. So how would Satan accomplish this task of destroying mankind? Well, he would destroy nations from the bottom up in a way where men would do what? Would not see it coming. He would just have to focus on one side and destroy the families from the bottom up. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. Check this out. Kim Kardashian, the U.S. Sun. Kim Kardashian shows off her real eyelashes with mascara or extensions and new edited photo. Now you notice they use her as what? Believe it or not, folks, she's the idol of Kellis and or Lilith. Before her, there were others. Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor was one. A Lilith. So they move from one to the next depending on the generation. Kim Kardashian brought forth an image that most women don't even realize. They begin to emulate, bringing into life the spirit of Lilith. Why? Well, the Bible tells us in old times, the Bible stated, again, let me move that out of the way. Again, the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. That's the spirit of Lilith. And this is what God told us, the children of Israel. If thy daughter be shameless, that means she walks without understanding shame. If she walk and believe, there's no such thing as shame. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly. Don't let her liberate herself. Keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. Liberation. See? So Satan, understanding that the woman delivers the culture and the image of a nation, came in a way men didn't suspect. Through fashion. Through the fashion industry. Through the, I would say, the makeup industry. Watch over an impudent eye, and marvel not if she trespass against you. Don't be surprised if she use those looks to find someone else. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler. She'll get with her friends and all that and go out, and guess what? Her mouth will be wide open according to the Bible. And drink of every water near her. By every hedge will she sit down, open her quiver against every arrow. So she's open for every arrow to enter. Which leads us where? Which leads us here. Some say allegedly that Gloria Steinem came with a CIA initiative to break up the nuclear family black people were known for up until civil rights. Some say allegedly she was an agent sent in. There was no time that the black woman ever sought to be liberated from her man because we were both suffering together. There was no time that black men ever had a patriarchy over our women because we came in slave ships together. Gloria Steinem have a statement where now they're empowering this generation of women to have no shame by claiming black women created the feminist movement. They're putting it on our women now. When they brought forth the spirit of Lilith to do what? You got it, folks. To infiltrate, to destroy us from a place we weren't suspecting. Our own home. They began to program our helpmeet against us. And when some of our women got a taste of that power, that's right. Let me tell you, power is rarely voluntarily given up. Power is taken. So once someone gets power, you can forget it. They'll never seek to voluntarily just hand it back over. Black women created the feminist movement is the lie Gloria Steinem is propagating now. They use this campaign. What my sister dealing with right here had nothing to do with what this woman was doing over here. A matter of fact, this woman benefited from chattel slavery over this woman. And now look at us. Look at our communities. The feminist plan on the Lilith. led by the synagogue of Satan. If you don't want to know who they are, Revelation 2 and 9 and Revelations 3 and 9. Was able to accomplish what Satan been trying to do for generations. To destroy her. She was always the key. It wasn't to liberate her, because by parlaying her satanic, feminist, Lilith spirit on this woman, she can now have this woman take all the shots for it. All the blame for feminism now is being put on our sisters by her. You don't believe me? She said it. Gloria Steinem. She so happened to be Jewish. Black women created the feminist movement is the lie this white woman propagated. Now that it's coming into full view, the destructive nature of it. Now they're going to put it on the black woman, and now the black woman must suffer all the hits for what this woman right here introduced to our sisters. Now, here's the trick though. This woman has taken all the shots, only to back around this woman right here, to now use the woman she created by liberating. Use her as the example of a disagreeable woman so that now she can come around and take all the affluent, educated, financially upward mobile black men that once belonged to her. Now look. The danger of liberation. We should have stayed together. We should have read the Bible and we should have never allowed shame to go away. You can say what you want about us in civil rights. Was the black man perfect? No. But we understood there was nothing like our women. We loved our women. We weren't perfect. And they made this woman believe that the black woman's cause was one with the white woman's cause. The same white woman who benefited from chattel slavery. And then going to come around and try to put the feminist movement on the black woman. Now our sisters are catching what? They're catching all of the bullets for stepping out and agreeing with the power structure. Now they're about to dump our women out altogether. Take everything away from them. Why? Because the plan worked. The brothers and sisters can no longer come together in any level of agreement without arguing. And I'm going to talk about that week 7 in the academy. It's not about blaming anyone, folks. I don't think people understood the impact of the liberation movement. You can't say men had anything to do with the liberation movement of feminists. You can't blame that on men. If anything, men had to do what? Men had to adjust to a new type of woman. In order for our bloodline to survive, men had to adjust and say, if I'm going to have to do some level of capitulation, I'm going to have to do some level of compromising with this new woman, or our seed or name would cease to exist. So men would have to take a subservient posture in order to keep relationships alive and keep their mouths shut when there was things of disagreement, to avoid argument. So if we're going to go to a place of fixing this, we have to go not to all the way back to Willie Lynch. We have to go to directly to the feminist liberation movement and say, well, okay, who created this and who's willing to correct their actions if liberation had an impact on your view of men? Because men had to compromise, or she's not going to give you access to her if you don't compromise. And that's the spirit of Lilith and Kaylee. There's nothing men can do to fix that. A woman have to come to the knowledge of how much the liberation period affected her and shun it, speak against it, live an observable life, proving that you're going to fight against what they have programmed you to be. Men can't. The most I can do as a teacher is bring it all to light so that choices can be made. Or are we going to follow the idol? Are we going to follow the dark angel of Lilith? So I hear it all the time. I hear these circular arguments. What about? To get the conversation off of where the origin is, where we can fix it from the point it entered in. No whataboutism. It's, do you love the spirit of empowerment? Well, you can't have both. You can't be empowered and then complain about men who are weak, holding their power. See? And this is why I wanted to go into the danger of the liberation movement, folks. The danger is no one readily gives up power, and they were empowered with everything. And who suffers more so? Our people. Our people suffer. So it's time for us to do what? Respect these words. The Bible tells us. Ecclesiastes 26:8. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelashes. They purposely made that a fashion. With women putting on eyelids. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. That means it's upon the parents to not teach liberty or allow liberty to their children, especially a daughter. Especially a daughter. Dressing her sexually and all these things, thinking it's cute. Allowing her to be sassy and all that, thinking it's cute. When women move into womanhood before a man becomes a man. That's why the scriptures had more stringent boundaries on daughters. Because daughters develop muscles to bring forth children early. Before her mind catches up, her body's there. See? So this is why rules were strict on women, because their muscles develop to have children before young men can actually age into men. They become, women are desired at an early age because the Most High made their muscles develop early so that they could bring forth children. And that in of itself gives aesthetically a male's view of desire to a woman with muscles in just certain places and with a snatched stomach. So in old time, we need to dress her up, cover her up, because every place she walk, a man is going to desire her and going to want to be with her. That's too much power to give a young woman in hopes that she doesn't destroy herself. And now look, it's too much power for a woman. It's powerful. And Satan knew this. So in old time, what we would do is we would make sure we would match a young woman who can have children with a man who can take care of her. She would go straight from her father to a husband. And what did Satan do? No, we need to give her a space of liberty. We need to give her a space of liberty. Her teenage years and her college years, we need her to actually give her body all over the place to a point where it affects her psychologically when it comes to her view of a man. And then what? Because if the way we had it, the way it was set up biblically, children, men and women, young boys and young women, understood the value of a nuclear family and how a family was constructed. A woman would go straight to a husband. Boom, finished. No in between, no time to develop traumas, no time to develop heartbreaks and all these others, no time to develop a negative view against a man or a woman. You went on and got your husband and went on with life. The spirit of Lilith have destroyed our communities. And they've released the gates of hell on our people. The spirits now have hosts. Kelly, the demoness from East India, by the name of Kelly, now have a host. Now has a host. The East Indian goddess Kelly. Look at her hair, look at her eyelashes, and look at all the men who've been lured into her web of deceit. Look at her hair. Look at her fingernails. And look at all the men that are sacrificed to the God who have empowered her. And now the East Indians and others have come to collect for the sacrifices they have made to their gods. They brought the hair, they brought the nails, and now they've come to collect for their sacrifices. And what have they come to collect? The neighborhoods that once belonged to us. And instead of Gloria Steinem standing with our women now, Gloria Steinem and others like her will be standing with the Asians. They'll be standing with the Asians and the East Indians, who they made now, empowered them to take over our neighborhoods. Gloria Steinem now is going to step to the side. Mission accomplished. It was almost an impossible mission, impossible to break up the black family. Judah, before the awakening, she was used to do this. And now that she has no more use for our sisters, they're going to move our sisters out of the side, and Gloria and others who look like her is going to align themselves with Asians and East Indians to collect their pay for the sacrifice. And where they're going to send these people to collect their pay? To the black community. How does liberation feel? With that, we're going into a 30-minute to 40-minute discussion preparation for what's to come, as well as health questions with Dr. Truman. There's some word out there, I don't know how true it is, but we need to prepare anyway, that there may be another lockdown sometime in 2025. And this is going to be a lockdown like none other. And I'm talking about all over the world. It's not going to have the same impact in America initially, okay, as the other one, being that so many people in the United States can now see what it was all about. But allegedly, there's some plans in 2025 where they may have to lock things down. And predominantly, Africa may or will be the focus of serious, stringent, folks, legislation pushed that would actually forbid most people from being able to travel in or out of different parts of Africa, allegedly. Regardless of what they're planning, we know, according to God, according to the Bible, it's all really about bringing the world to its knees, setting up a system where most people can participate if they're willing to agree with the technology in place for purchasing. Okay, to be able to still do it, commerce and buying and selling, at the same time making sure where we frequent, countries or otherwise, are safe. So 2025 is something we really need to focus on based on some of what I'm hearing and some of the research I'm doing, as far as them possibly going into another lockdown. But all in all, if that's the case, then sicknesses, regardless of where they've come from, can one day be how can I say this on this platform? Well, can also be a singular focus like it once was in 2020 and 21. Okay. So, because of that, I'm doing a lot of preparation for food and otherwise through the Spirit of the Most High. We're doing what we can to keep the church in preparation and their minds prepared for what's to happen. And we're going to continue to guide you all through this, to tell you what to do until we're all together in the wilderness. But folks, it's here. It's happening. It's going down. There might be rolling electricity in the future, near future, but 2025 is where another one of these big things may come to view, where all of the world powers come together, unified to stave off another quote unquote disease possibly. And if that's the case, regardless of how they're promoting it, we must be prepared. Okay? Because guess what? Myself, believing in God, I'm going to trust in God and the Bible, and I'm not going to trust anything they're talking about. Whatever their solutions are, that's for the world who believe in the God they serve. But I'm going to stick with the Bible. Okay? We're going to stick with the Bible here. Okay? Period. So I have Truman on standby. I'm about to call him up. All right. Let me see if Truman is ready. 1 second. We need to talk about keeping our bodies in shape under perfect health, folks, when they roll this stuff out, if they roll it out. Africa, get ready. Stand up, Africa. second. Let's see if I can find Truman.
Yes. Hello, it's Doc Truman.
Okay, Doc, can you come on camera for me, please?
Okay, coming on camera now.
Yeah. Oh no. Let me let him know the answer. Answer with camera. Okay.
There we are.
Yes, Doc. There you go. You're looking good, sir. You're looking good.
Okay.
You're looking good, sir.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Say something again. Go ahead.
The testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hold on. Go ahead.
'Cause
Say it.
testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I can hear you perfectly.
Oh,
Truman.
wonderful.
So
Wonderful.
we're going to segue right over in a moment into a Patreon so that we can talk about the preparation for health going into the coming years. There's word out there that there could be some more lockdowns leaning into like 2025. Who knows what they'll do before then? I don't know, but should we be prepared to keep our health intact and our immunity up?
Oh, yes.
Right? Well before something happens, right? Well before it's too late, right? So I want to talk to you about that. Since you're here, Truman, you might be happy to hear that, one second, let me get the phone number up here. 1 second, Truman, all right?
Sure.
It's good to see you nice and healthy, too. You're looking good. You're looking good.
Thank you.
All right, 1 second. Let me put the phone number there so that our loyal Patreonies can come in. Hold on. Because I know they have a lot of questions to ask you. Been a while since you've been on, so I hope you're rare and ready to go in rare form. All right.
Raring to go.
All right, great. I thank the Most High you before us, with us, brother, and I'm going to segue over. You might be happy to hear that we're implementing starting next week in the church. Keep in mind, Truman, when this church first started, we were on the streets, traveling throughout the world, throughout the earth. We went into different parts of Europe, Eastern Europe, Greece, Africa, the Middle East. We seen it all. You're talking about the Arab Spring and all these others. We seen it all and understand the true narrative leading to the mark of the beast. And our plan was never to set up an organized, structured, quote unquote, church per se. Right? Like the body is Christ, and we called ourselves for online purposes the gathering of Christ Church. But what? The work created a demand that we organized because there were so many people who began to believe and understand what the Most High blessed us to teach. And so we came back to the States and organized the church under a certain level of organization so that when it's time, we have people in like mind who are ready to go all together, who have actually went through the process of interacting with one another, a preparation to be with one another before the wilderness, right?
Right.
And as we grow, you came into play. We needed someone with the herbal knowledge on how our body works, so that if our bodies break down and there is no access to an immediate pharmacy or whatever the case is, what type of natural herbs or whatever we could utilize that can help us through a crisis, better yet, help us in a preventive manner not to have to deal with the illnesses and all those others. He put you on the road, and at the same time, Sebi, may the Most High rest his soul, was actually being attacked and all that. Your business was getting attacked, and it's to a degree where we had to help you go into another island not to suffer what some of our natural herbalists who are left were suffering. Many doctors were dying under mysterious scenarios, and we didn't want anything to happen to you. All right? So I thank the Most High that he's keeping you in good health, because we need you. And I know I had a conversation with you the other day privately, and we talked about it, where under some circumstances beyond your power, some of the herbs weren't getting out in a timely fashion, and we found a workaround so that even if they don't get the herbs immediately, you can give them some temporal fixes or access to some herbs in their locale until your product gets to them. And I thank you for allowing us to grow together so that we can help our people, right? So we need you. And when this stuff go down, whatever it happens, I'm glad the Most High have you in our corner, okay? Man, you my brother, all right? Another thing we're implementing through demand, because the church grew beyond anything I ever thought it would be. I'm talking about thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people worldwide in different parts of the world, Asia, Middle East, Africa, Europe. You know what I mean? It's not that we sit and publish numbers to say, well, look at the numbers, but the Most High have blessed with a worldwide ministry, and you have helped our church throughout the earth worldwide, and I have to thank you for that. The last piece here is South America, others, yeah. The last piece is, by demand, we have a new committee that we'll be implementing starting next week within each particular church, right? And this is what we would call a senior advisory board. Who's that behind you? That's your daughter?
Oh, I don't see anybody.
Okay, yeah, she went downstairs.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm here with the kids. I've got I have 22 great grandkids, and I'm here with the great grandchildren.
Okay, well, you probably want to put something behind you, because she's running around with with a robe on or something. But anyway, you should let people know when you're streaming. But anyway, Lord, I mean, come on now. Anyway, it's like this. All right. We have what we would call a senior advisory. Starting next week, we're going to be implementing it with the elders. It's called the Senior Advisory Team. Right? And what this is, with each church, we're going to have brothers and sisters of tenure. All right? Not just tenure. Over the ages of 50, according to the law, when it comes to up to 70 years of age and older, wisdom and experience to help the youth and our young children who are growing up in this knowledge. Okay, we're going to need some guidance and mentorship, as well as brothers and sisters that young men and young women, even elders and deacons, can come to and draw from their experiences. All right, be it if it's a trade, or someone may have struggled with something in the world. They may have struggled with drugs or something that happened growing up, and Christ, through the Spirit of the Almighty, delivered them through those vices. Well, suppose we have somebody who come into the church with those same vices. What better, person to have before them, right? What would be better to have before them than someone of age who've gone through their experiences? Every church is going to have that, where we gotta kick our seniors in and draw from their wisdom. Even the negatives they have experienced can be teaching moments for this generation, right? So we're going to have what we're going to have from each church individually, a senior advisory panel. All right. And these are they where sometimes brothers and sisters don't want to talk to elders and deacons about every little thing they're going through or struggles, or may be ashamed to do so. But then you have that mama figure where sisters can go to mama in the church, or like a big sister, and say, I'm really ashamed of what I'm going through, but I know you'll understand. Can I talk to you about it? And be able to discuss her issues without being ostracized, without what? A lynch mob coming against her because of what she's dealing with. You know, she has to have an outlet where she can talk and not be hung at the public square.
Yeah.
Right? And the same for brothers. What brothers struggle with in the world, especially when you talk about the spirit of fornication and all these. Young men struggle with that, with the desires that they can get freely for nothing in the world, and they're coming to truth, and those desires don't go away. So we got to have it where they can speak to brothers, even outside a senior who experienced that, who graduated college, who know what the college lives are, where they can go to them, and if there's something that's deep, right, then that elder can say, is this something that you want to sit and talk to the bishop and deacon about, or you want some help in this? And then we can bring others in if they would like. Okay, so that we can hear their struggles without them believing that they're going to be what? Hung in the public square. So many people are struggling with things but are afraid to talk about it. Why? Because you have people who, as leaders, operating in the spirit, Truman, of Pharisee.
Yeah.
The spirit of Pharisee is, okay, let's cut off the head. Let's destroy this person. Let's not deal with their struggles and what came up that led to this. Let's kill this person.
Yep. Yep.
So I'm excited about that. And my conversation with you, Truman, the other day really reminded me of how important the aged and the seniors are to us. It's important. Okay, it's important. And why do you think when our forefathers came over here on slave ships, they killed the elderly? They killed the elderly so that they can reprogram the children, so that we would lose that wealth of knowledge and understanding that only comes through time and experience. And brother, I thank the Most High. How old are you now, Truman?
82 and a half, almost 83 now.
83 years old?
Almost.
Man, and the knowledge of what you bring forth with the medication, I mean not medication, with the herbs. I mean, still 83, you're looking, let me tell you, I know people in their 40s that don't look as sharp and strong as you.
Well, I'm very fortunate. I'm 130 pounds, 5'6", and I still have serrated, muscled arms and a six-pack of muscles on my stomach. I am blessed and preserved, and I'm grateful and I'm thankful, and I'm here to share what's happened to me. It's a blessing, and it needs to be shared.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, that conversation I had with you, I know I was talking about some of our concerns because, like you are, I'm so concerned when someone is coming to me with sicknesses and need immediate attention. And some of that may have filtered over in my frustration to a degree, but I know it was well heard. But all in all, I want to tell you, I appreciate you. And you actually stimulated something else in me. The value that comes with those of age. And I started thinking about that. And we have so many wise brothers and sisters over the age of 50 and 60 with the experience to guide our people. And we're not tapping into their experiences like we should. We need to really take all we have from those who are with us, especially the aged, while they're still with us. I mean, myself, I'm gonna tell you, brother, you don't know how much you miss your mother and your father until they're gone. Right? And I'm gonna tell you, it'd been many days where certain things I can talk, even with my weaknesses, that I know I can talk to my mother about. And only she could encourage me in a way that would have me not look negative on myself. I would talk to her about a few things. She's my mother. What she's gonna do? She's not gonna do anything to me, right? But she would come back and say, Junior, don't be too hard on yourself, because these are the things you do contribute. These are the things. This is why you are needed. And I would say, thanks, Mom. I appreciate it. And sometimes she would call me just to remind me of how important I was to her. Out of nowhere. I just want you to know you're important to me. And I'm proud of you. And she didn't see it, but sir, I would hang up that phone and sometimes I would just cry, because it was what I needed in the moment that only mama could give to me.
Yeah.
And this is why we must understand that even if our mother and father is taken away, there's seniors that we have to draw from and lean on, like our people did in the past. And I'm going to do everything going forward in this ministry to make sure we utilize our seniors while they're with us. Great.
That's a great plan. I love it.
Okay. Well, before we segue over to Patreon, what's the plan? How's it going with the business? And are you ready to rock? Are you ready to get our people what they need?
We are struggling. About the time I think things are going well, we get under another attack from the federal government, of all places. They continue to find ways to slow us down and stop us and so forth. But the only thing I can do now is the things that we have and that we can have in stock and that we do have, we go ahead and we get out as quickly as possible. I went down and I talked to the folks there at Health and Herbs, which I don't own. See, I don't own Health and Herbs. I'm there. I was directed by the chief federal judge of the Western United States to look out after Health and Herbs and make sure that they were doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is what I do. So I do look out after Health and Herbs, but I don't own it. I don't get anything from the sale of any products, but they've continued to be under attack, and the latest attack has seized all their assets. And they're having a really a tough time getting back on their feet, but they're like I am. They won't quit.
Okay.
They won't quit. But what we're doing is exactly what you suggested, and that is if they don't have it in stock and they can't ship it, then they let me know. I let the person know that they need to pick it up locally.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
And that's what we
good.
have to do.
Well, we're going to talk about this, Truman. What I want to do is I want to segue to Patreon so that we can have a Q&A when it comes to health. All right.
Great.
How can we work? How do we build things naturally for our bodies? I want to talk about. And what I found a place in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Penn Herb.
Yes.
I don't know if whenever you get a chance, reach out to them, because you can coordinate to where if something can't get out, they deliver all of that. So if you know the remedy, not the remedy, but if you know what particular herb can help out, you can always suggest they go there. Check out Penn Herb in Philadelphia. I mean, that place is it's a wonderful place. So let's segue over to Patreon, because
Very good.
YouTube have these rules and all that, and I just want to stay respectful to their rules. And what we're going to do is we're going to open up for preparation and health discussions, right? If someone is struggling with something, whatever the case is, you being a doctor, what would you suggest? And let's talk about some preventative. How do we build our bodies health, right? What would you suggest for that? And I'm being very guarded in how I say this,
Right.
based on how the algorithm is on this YouTube thing, right? So
Right.
let's hold tight. You don't hang up, and I'll just switch this over to Patreon. Okay, let's talk.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, brothers and sisters, as you can see, the master herbologist, he's still with us, kicking strong. We're not going to let him, we ain't going to let nobody get him. He's one of the I would say, masters of herbs, one of the very few who are still left. All right. And everyone know about Sabi, but let me tell you, hey, I don't believe that Dr. Truman is second to anyone I've met. Okay, when it comes to this, all right. And his story on his diagnosis, on how he was diagnosed with something in an early age and was given only months to live, which led him to trying to figure out was there something that can help him. That's how this started for him. And the next thing you know, he's here at the age of 83 with the full knowledge of how herbs works for the body. A talk with master herbalist Truman Burst coming up. Go to Patreon.com/agathering144. I'll see you all over there. And keep in mind, brothers and sisters, on what I was speaking about earlier, right? Get in the academy, folks. There's a lot of information that we divulge. HistoryTimes.org. We want to get these numbers up in the academy because we're going into archaeology, history, all of that. And this coming Sunday, we're going into the Promised Seed. Our time in Egypt, how we became princes over Egypt before going into Israel. Also, we're going to go into the archaeological proof that Israel existed, to show you how the naysayers in history were trying to do what? Erase that history so that we cannot attach ourselves to the greatness of Egypt. And we're going to show you, that's right, that according to the gospel, the Most High have never changed his position with being the God of Israel. Christ didn't change that. The Christian churches are teaching you that when Christ came, he done away with his people only to get everyone else to have everyone else as his people above his own people. How crazy is that? We're going to destroy the Christian replacement theology in this academy. So there's a lot of things the Christians are teaching that's true, but they still allow the lies to fester within that ideology. And we're here at the Gathering of Christ Church. Well, we're here to set the record straight. Go to historytimes.org. And right now, we're transitioning over to Patreon. Patreon.com/agathering144. Here's the phone number. Call in and let's have what? A conversation for preparation and health with Truman Burst. Shalom.